What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the Home Field Podcast. So in today's video, we're going to go over the Week 9 picks in the NFL. Start with the 1 o'clock games, move on to the 4:25 games, and then finish up with the Sunday night matchup and then the Monday night matchup tomorrow. All right, so let's dive into the first 1 o'clock game that we have here. I've got the Ravens and the Colts. This is definitely going to be one of my favorite matchups of the week because it's going to show me which team is a legitimate contender. Both teams are 5-2. They're looking to make a move for better playoff positioning. Now, the Ravens are getting back outside linebacker Matthew Judon for this game. However, they will not have cornerback Marlon Humphrey. He tested positive for COVID-19 a couple days ago. And running back Mark Ingram is listed as doubtful because he's dealing with an ankle injury. For the Colts, they're likely not going to have T.Y. Hilton in this game. He's listed as doubtful with a groin injury. So, with the injuries out of the way, I have the Ravens winning this game. I think Lamar Jackson breaks this idea that he can't play well in big games. And I think the Ravens force a couple of Colts turnovers this week. I got the Ravens winning this one, 27-21. Up next, we got the Bears versus the Titans. It's going to be an interesting game between these two. Both of these teams are coming off 2-game losing streaks after the last 2 games that they've played, and they're looking to get back on track. Got the Titans winning this one. I really just can't get over how bad the Bears offense has looked the last couple weeks, especially against the Saints last week. Their defense has really been carrying a lot of the weight for the Bears. But I just think in this week, it's going to be too much against Derrick Henry and Ryan Tannehill. I think the Titans get it done. I got the Titans winning 24-17. Up next, we got the Seahawks versus the Bills. This is actually going to be a pretty fun matchup, because both teams have won 6 games so far. They're at the top of their respective divisions. And at this point, both teams are really trying to make a case if they're actually going to make a run at either the number 1 seed in the AFC and the NFC or the number 2 seed in the AFC and the NFC. So this is going to be a fun game. Weather really isn't going to be a factor in this game. It's going to be 65 degrees outside and sunny in Buffalo. So with that said, I've got Seattle getting the win here. I just like the matchups that Russell Wilson has and the Seahawks have against the Bills. And I wouldn't be surprised if Seattle does try to run the ball more this week, just because Buffalo did allow over 180 yards to the Patriots last week. It's going to be a high-scoring game. I think Russell Wilson's probably going to throw 3, maybe 4 touchdowns as well. I've got the Seahawks winning this one, 31-24. Up next, we have the Panthers versus the Chiefs. This is going to be a pretty easy pick. Just the Chiefs are on a roll right now, and the Panthers have been struggling as of late. The Panthers are currently on a 3-game losing streak. The Panthers did activate Christian McCaffrey from IR this week, so his presence will be much needed. I just don't think it's going to be enough here. The Chiefs are averaging over 35 points a game in their last 3 wins, and I think it'll be more of the same here. If the Chiefs get the win here, 34-21. So, for the 1 o'clock games, those are the standout games that I have, and then pretty much from this point forward, for the 1 o'clock games, it goes downhill. Up next, we have the Texans versus the Jaguars. Safe to say that both the Texans and the Jaguars have really struggled this year. They're both 1-6. There's not many positives to say about either team. I think I've said in the past, whenever I really think about the Jaguars, it just seems like a black hole to me, just because outside of Gardner Minshew, I don't really know much about this team. And the record kind of shows they're just not playing well this year. As far as picking this game goes, I'm going to go with the Texans. I say Houston wins this one, 24-16. Up next, we got the New York Giants going up against the Washington football team. So, by some miracle, Washington is still in the playoff hunt because they're only 1 game behind the Eagles in the win column. The Giants have looked more competitive the last few games that they've played. So in their last 4 games that they've played, they've lost by a combined total of 7 points. It's just a tough stat to look at if you're a Giants fan. However, I do think the Giants turn it around this weekend. More than likely, I don't think they're going to have Golden Tate for this game, but I still think they get the win on the road here. It's going to be a close one, but I like the Giants winning this one, 24-21. Up next, we have the Lions going up against the Vikings. So this game, from an injury perspective, is just a mess. The Vikings have 3 cornerbacks that are listed as out on the injury report. The Lions are going to potentially be without Matt Stafford, but I think he'll either be activated off the COVID list before the game starts, and there's a potential that he could play. However, the Lions will be without Kenny Golladay this week. He's recovering from a hip injury. So in this matchup, I got the Vikings winning this one. There's just too many questions with the Lions right now with the injuries that they have. And I like Dalvin Cook going up against the Lions' run defense. The Lions' run defense has been giving up 130 yards of rush yards to the teams that they go up against. I think the Vikings get this one 27-20. Up next, we got the Broncos versus the Falcons. Kind of another dud of a game here, but both teams are coming off of wins last week. Denver had a huge comeback against the Chargers last week, winning on a walk-off touchdown pass by Drew Lock. And the Falcons are trying to get it back together after their horrendous start to the season. I think in this game, though, I think the Falcons get the win here. I just think that Denver not having A.J. Bouye this weekend is going to hurt them, and I expect Matt Ryan to exploit Bouye's absence. Also, I wouldn't be surprised if Todd Gurley has a solid day on the run, with Denver's rush defense giving up about 120 yards a game. I've got the Falcons winning this one 30-21. Up next, I got the Raiders versus the Chargers. The Raiders are coming off of a big win last week against the Browns, and the Chargers suffered a brutal loss to the Broncos, like I said just a few seconds ago, to the Broncos. Even though I think Justin Herbert will perform well against this Raiders defense because their defense has been known to give up a lot of passing yards, I've got the Raiders winning this matchup. I think they continue their success from last week, and they get the job done enough on the offensive side of the ball. I think the Raiders win this one 27-24. Up next, we've got the Dolphins versus the Cardinals. This is really a matchup of the young guns at the quarterback position going at it. So we've got Tua Tagovailoa and Kyler Murray going up against each other. Now, Tua did get his first win last week against the Rams, but I think going up against Kyler Murray and the Cardinals will be a much more difficult matchup. I like the Cardinals here simply because Kyler Murray is just going to be too much for that Dolphins defense. They're coming off of a bye week. They should be fresh and ready to rock and roll for this game. I like the Cardinals winning this one 28-21. Up next, we got the Steelers versus the Cowboys. This is an easy pick here. Steelers are going to win this game. It wouldn't surprise me if the Steelers win this game by 3 or more touchdowns, just because the Cowboys as a team just can't get it together in any way, shape, or form. I got the Steelers winning this one 31-14. So up next, we have the Sunday night game. Personally, this is my game of the week and totally worthy of a Sunday night game compared to that dumpster fire matchup that we had last week with the Eagles and the Cowboys. I think Drew Brees plays well here this week, and with the addition of Michael Thomas back into the offense, it'll only help the Saints here. It's just I think that Tom Brady will outperform Brees, and the Bucs get the win here. The thing with the Bucs here is they could potentially have Antonio Brown, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, and Rob Gronkowski all in the starting lineup, and the Saints defense has to contend with that. All I'm going to say is for the Saints, good luck trying to stop that. I got the Bucs winning this one here. It'll be a close game, but I got the Bucs winning 34-27. And then the last game of the week, we have the Patriots going up against the Jets. This isn't something that I would really consider as a great matchup for a Monday Night Football game. Both the Jets and the Patriots have been disappointing, to say the least, this year. The Jets are probably going to be starting Joe Flacco this week, since Sam Darnold is listed as doubtful as he recovers from a shoulder injury. For the Patriots, their COVID list is finally clear for this game. However, N'Keal Harry will be out with a concussion, and a slew of other Patriots are going to be listed as questionable for this game. I do like the Patriots in this one. I think their defense should be able to handle the Jets' offense, which is just atrocious this year. I think Cam's going to have an okay game, but I think they're going to heavily rely on their running game here. I like the Pats winning this one 24-17.